Hey guys, it's Sammy Joe bringing you gameplay commentary on Havana. As you can guess, the gun that I'm using in this video is the FAMAS with extended mag. I have like 20 gameplays in my hard drive on my computer that I'm trying to get rid of, and they are all pretty much FAMAS, but as soon as I get rid of them and get them all out, I promise I will use a different gun and I will not post anymore with FAMAS. But before I get into my commentary, I want to apologize because I had to record this video in two parts because I got host migration and I recorded from theater mode. So anyways, but I know that I did a commentary on my driving stories and my road rage yesterday. So in this one, I want to talk about the tickets that I've gotten. I know that some of you, were leaving comments about how you have your permits and stuff and that you speed already. And I commented back and I said, don't do it because I have gotten tickets. I've gotten 2 tickets in about 4 months apart from each other, maybe a little bit more than that, but you really don't want to because tickets are not fun. But anyways, I started driving with the license when I was 17, and my whole first year and second year of driving, I did not get 1 ticket. I had close calls, but I've never actually gotten pulled in those 2 years. As soon as I get to college, like 2 or 3 months into the semester, I got my first ticket. The speed limit is 45 everywhere in the town where I go to school, unless it goes down to 35 like in some city limit parts or whatever, but pretty much everywhere is 45. So one day I was leaving class and going back to my apartment, and there was this girl in a Hummer in front of me going 2 miles an hour, and I told you guys yesterday about how I can't stand when people drive slow. So I was like really annoyed, and so I revved up my engine and went around her like a smartass, and I wasn't really thinking of anything because I wasn't thinking anything of this because it was so normal for me to just do that because I always do that. So I just kept driving, and all of a sudden there's a cop in my rear view mirror with his lights on, and I was like, oh shit, that sucks. Whoever he's pulling, that sucks for you, whatever, and got over into the right lane, so that I could move out of his way. Well, he gets right behind me with his lights on, and I was like, oh my god, he's pulling me. And I had no idea why he was pulling me or what I did wrong or that I even did anything wrong. So I just pulled over into this little curve in the road. It wasn't necessarily a safe place to be pulling over, but I've never been pulled before, so I really didn't know. And he comes over and was like, will you pull over into the Arby's parking lot? And I was like, okay. So he gets back in the car and I start driving. Well, like I said, I was new to this area because I just started my freshman year of college, and I didn't really know that Arby's and Sheetz were connected by a parking lot, but Arby's also had its own parking lot. So I passed the first parking lot from Arby's and I miss it completely and pull into the parking lot where they go together. And he comes over and was like, I asked you to pull into the Arby's lot over there. And I was like, oh, sorry, I didn't think there was 2 different parking lots. I thought they were just connected. And he was like, oh, okay. And then, the normal, do you know what I'm pulling you for, and blah, blah, blah. And I was like, no, I really don't, to be honest with you. And I wasn't trying to be smart because, like I told you, I seriously had no idea that I was even doing anything wrong because when he had his lights on, like I said, I did not think he was pulling me, so I didn't think to look at my speedometer or anything, so I just kind of got over. But anyways, he was like, you were doing 59 in a 45, and I tried to play the whole, oh, I didn't know the speed limit, I thought it was 55 thing, and I said, I'm new to the area, I just started college here, I don't really know where all the speed limits are, and he was like, well, it's 45 everywhere but the city limits, and I was like, oh, okay. So he took my license and registration and took forever to get back to my car, like always. I don't know what they do, and if you're a cop, please tell me what you do because I have no idea why it takes 4 hours for you to get back to the car. But anyways, he finally gets out and gives me a ticket, and I was like, seriously, this is my first ticket. I was going 14 over. Give me a break. I'm new to the area, but whatever. I took the ticket and left, but to this day, I will never eat at Arby's because of that. So sorry if you own an Arby's or if you work at Arby's. Tough luck because the cop pulled me over there, and I feel like it's bad luck. So I will never go to Arby's. So sorry. But anyways, the second ticket that I got was about, I think it was in December, November, December. And it was the stupidest ticket I have ever heard of in my entire life. Like, seriously, I have never heard of a more stupid ticket than this. So, the speed limits on highways are normally 70 miles per hour. And like I said yesterday, I normally go 80 on the highway, but I seen a cop up ahead of me, so I slowed down to 78. And he was in the right lane, or in the left lane, sorry, and he was going like about 60. So before I like was close up on him, I was far enough back where it didn't look like I was trying to get away from him, and I was just trying to like move over. So I get over into the right lane, and I'm still going 78, which I did not think at the time that would get me in trouble. And he's like being an idiot and like zooming up next to me and like going faster than me and then slowing down, then going faster. And I'm being stupid and not realizing that he's like doing this to see if I don't know, but I guess cops do that when they're about to pull you over. I don't know. But anyway, so he was doing this, and I did not think anything of it. I didn't think that I needed to slow down or anything. So I just kept going. Well, he gets right behind me and pulls me over. And this guy was the meanest person I've ever met in my entire life. He was like, do you see this white sign ahead of you? And I was like, yeah. Like, he was referring to the speed limit sign. He was like, what does that say? And I was like, it says 70. And I was like trying really hard not to be a smart ass back, but I was getting so pissed and aggravated because he was being such a jerk. And so then he was like, okay, well, do you know how fast you were going? And I was like, no, not really. I was like, why? What did you clock me at? And he was like, well, I don't know. I didn't clock you, but I know you're going faster than 70. So anyways, he was being a jerk, blah, 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 gives me a ticket for 78 and a 70, which was the most stupid ticket. I got that passed and paid for. But anyways, the game is coming to an end here. The final score is 47-3. So check out my Twitter, Facebook. Links will be in the description. And please go bump my videos on the Respawn Army app. Thank ya.